Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Postmodern Art Podcast, the podcast dedicated to giving artists who are wowing the world over the platform they deserve. I'm your host, Nathan Ragland, and for today's episode, we have SenpaiBeth, a UK artist making thumbnails for the likes of Blarg, McNasty, and more, who recently gained the attention of MrBeast for daily sketches of him in hopes that he would buy her a house. She was an absolute delight to have on the podcast, chatting about everything from art to adopting otters. Seriously, check out her stuff in the links in the description below. Also, if this is your first time listening to the podcast, welcome, and feel free to check out our other podcasts on Spotify, Anchor FM, YouTube, and most streaming platforms. We have some amazing guests like Beth planned, and we could use all the support we can get. Also, follow us on Twitter at PostmodArtPod for future updates and guest announcements, as well as recommend guests you want to see on the show as well. And now, without further ado, please enjoy the Postmodern Art Podcast. All right, Beth, before we get things going, I start every podcast with an icebreaker, so I'll ask you the same. What is your most unpopular art opinion?
Oh, God. Oh God, what a question.
Yes, that's why I make it the icebreaker, because hopefully every other question is simpler in comparison.
I would hope so. It's not easy. I think a lot of people think that art is an easy job to do.
Okay.
So they think that the skill base, like what I probably have, they think, oh, she did that overnight. It didn't take like years to do, but it takes a lot of time to kind of build up your skill set.
Okay.
And it's very hard to make a business out of artwork.
Okay.
And I think people underestimate like the level that it takes and the effort that it takes to do it as well.
And that's the opinion that you're going to stand by? You're going to die on that hill?
Yes, I'm going to stay there and I will stand by it forever.
Okay. And trust me, we'll be able to elaborate a little later. But for now, welcome to the Postmodern Art Podcast. This is I don't know if it's the only podcast, but it is a podcast dedicated to giving artists who are wowing the world over the platform they deserve. I am your host, Nathan Ragland. Feel free to listen to us on not all, but most streaming platforms, especially Spotify, as well as the YouTube if you're not watching for the video format. And feel free to follow us on Twitter at PostmodArtPod for any future updates. With me today, I have an animation graduate from the UK, thumbnail artist for likes of Blarg, McNasty, Soft Willy, and so much more, Twitch affiliate and freelance artist Bethany, aka SenpaiBeth. Beth, how are you doing today?
I'm doing good, thank you. Thank you for having me on your podcast.
Well, thank you for taking time out of your extremely busy schedule in order to swing by and, just chat for a little bit.
Anytime.
All right, well, let's get the interview actually going. Let's start with the origin story, more or less. What made you interested in being an artist in the first place?
Oh, I have always loved drawing.
Okay.
Typical answer for any artist to say, I know, but I don't know. I've never been like the academic kind of student or like person in general. Just always been creative, always had that mindset. And then when it came to like studying it, I just really wanted to prove my parents wrong that I could make this a job. And so I made it a job, and that's pretty much, well, that and as well my love for art, but
there you go.
That mostly.
I was gonna say, yeah, because I remember for those who don't know, you have a Twitch stream. Like I said, you're a Twitch affiliate. I was on your Twitch stream the other day. You were talking about how your parents wanted you to be lawyers, apparently.
Oh yeah, they pushed me very hard to do like academic studies, like English, law, business, and I was just not having it. Okay. I fell asleep so many times during them classes.
Like, was there any particular reason why they wanted you to be specifically a lawyer? Were they lawyers themselves, or is just, they felt
No, I don't know really. My mum was the one that pushed me to do law, and my dad was like, "Yeah, if you got business studies down, then you've got it for life. You can use that anywhere." And I'm just like, I don't want to do that.
Okay.
So, I pushed for my own.
You went for your own path.
Yeah.
And I think so
Which
far,
I don't think a lot of people do. Which is sad.
I imagine there's at least a good percentage of people that go for what they want to do compared to going with what everyone else does. But,
Yeah.
but I imagine that percentage is probably a lot smaller than you and me probably think, so.
Yeah, probably.
But, I mean, it's awesome that you decided to just, buck the trend and it's just like, you know what, I'm going to do my own thing. I don't care.
Hell yeah. Well, I'd rather do something that I love rather than just be stuck in an office and,
there you go.
regret my decisions later on.
I mean, good point. I mean, you're as busy as you are loving what you're doing, and that's all that matters in the end.
Yeah, true. Mm-hmm. It's given me a lot of good opportunities, so I'm happy about that.
It definitely has. As a matter of fact, since we're talking about those opportunities, I'll jump to this question. Like I said in the intro, you're a thumbnail artist, or for a lot of people that know you, you're the thumbnail artist for for a good couple of YouTubers and such. The main one being Blarg or Blarg my Schnoopel. I think that's how you pronounce it.
Yeah.
How did that sort of working relationship start?
Oh, I don't know actually, because it happened a year ago. I think he was looking for a thumbnail artist, and I just kind of shot my shot at it.
There you go.
But I think someone actually might have recommended me.
Okay.
I'm not too sure, but it's good. It's good.
Okay. What has it been like working with him, considering the fact that he has this upload schedule to where he posts basically every single day?
Yeah, he is like not to toot, he is such a nice person to work with.
Mm-hmm.
He is really, really nice. He's very understanding if something happens. Like my PC broke a few months ago.
Ooh.
He understood that I was off work. He's very nice. But you get some YouTubers who aren't as nice, and they kind of, it's another story. I think I don't want to name names.
No, you don't have to name names, but you can still tell the story. You can be like this YouTuber, because I mean, I'm sure if people know, they'll know, but if not, I mean, it keeps you anonymous.
Yeah. I used to have a full-time client, YouTube thumbnail client.
Okay.
And randomly one day he was just like, yeah, I found another artist. I don't need you anymore. No warning, no nothing. And I'm just like, oh, okay, thanks for that. And luckily I had Blarg on the side who was like, oh, okay, I'll give you more work, that kind of thing. I was like, thanks.
Well, there you go. It's just it's funny. It's like, yeah, no warning or anything like that. Thanks for ruining my income. Yeah.
Awesome. Not like I got bills to pay or anything, but thanks for that. Yeah.
Has I mean, aside from obviously that horror story and Blarg, has working with YouTubers to create their thumbnails, has it been rewarding, or has it been exhausting? Is it all sorts of different emotions? What's it like just working for helping people basically create the first image people see?
I would say it's very rewarding for you and obviously the YouTuber, because you're obviously helping them to build their brands, make it look professional and everything. Obviously, some people can't afford, maybe my rates might be a bit too high, so I recommend other artists who have lower rates. So it's also helping other artists if they can't afford me. But yeah, if my thumbnail is on a YouTube video and then it gets a lot of views, if my name is in the description, then obviously other YouTubers might come to me and be like, hey, I like your work. Could you work for me? So even if it's just a one-off thumbnail, that's still money, I guess. But yeah, I would say it's rewarding for everyone involved. And maybe it can be a bit tiresome at times. It can take a few hours, but I'd say it's rewarding.
I mean, it seems like it can be rewarding. I mean, I'll go ahead and ask this for you. I mean, obviously it's your job, but how important is it for you? How important is the thumbnail for you? And wow, brain work. No. No, how important is the thumbnail for you when it comes to YouTube videos? Obviously, like I said, your job for the most part has been to create thumbnails for people. And
Yeah.
so, like, how important is it for you to make sure that the thumbnail is like just right? How important is it for someone to see your thumbnail and be like, "Oh, this is interesting. Let me click on the video."
Oh, very important, because like if I don't get this thumbnail right, then like people might not click on the video. Obviously, the YouTuber then won't get as many views. They can't get the money in, so then that ultimately affects me. Also, like that's my brand as well. It's like that's my business, and people are going to see my artwork and then see their content. So their first impression will be my artwork, and if it stands out, then they're also going to come to me afterwards and be like, "Hey, I like your work." But then it's also gonna benefit the YouTuber as well, obviously with the views. So it's very important. Like it's like when you first meet a person, it's the first 7 seconds that make an impact. So the title and the thumbnail have to make the impact to make it work, I guess.
Okay. No, that honestly makes sense because I mean the first impression is everything, and for you, you want to make that first
Mm.
impression a beautifully detailed and beautifully colored one that's going to grab the attention of anyone just passing by.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Uh, Speaking of your art style, what exactly is the inspiration for like your art style being, for the most part, semi-realistic?
Oh, see, a lot of people, especially, it's like a niche. Well, not
Okay.
like a niche, but um, some people like go for more chibi, like very, very cartoonish
Right.
thumbnails. I think that's more directed towards like kids, in my opinion. Anyway, I could just be like totally off the mark. Um, but then I like to do semi-realistic because you can still have like that cartoonish feel to it, but then
Okay.
you've also still got the like, oh, it can be like directed towards like the older 18 plus audience. So
Okay.
it's like a mix of both. Like you can still have like the younger and older audience kind of be brought in from the style.
Okay. I mean, yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
it's definitely, like you said, it's definitely very niche. I mean, you do have that great semi-realistic style, but
Yeah,
I also want to say, to go along with your brand as well. For those who don't know, you have a store. If I'm not, if it, yeah,
I do.
yes,
Yes.
and on that store you're selling posters. How in the world do you make those posters look almost human-like? Oh my goodness!
Weeks of just pure insanity. Your brain just goes to mush after like 2 weeks of working on that. I don't even know why I started it, but the outcome of it is just it. It fills me with a lot of joy because it's like, wow, I actually made that.
Oh,
And then seeing
absolutely.
people's comments on just like, oh, this looks like a photo. No way, I thought this was real. And it's just like, oh well, it's not.
I was gonna say, here's another comment for you. I actually went ahead and bought the Lil Nas X one as well because that one just looks absolutely amazing. Like the details, even with the grill and such. Like
Mhm.
I mean, the first impression, I look at stores like, why is she selling photos of these people? Oh my god, that's art! Holy crap! It's like,
I actually got.
sorry.
Oh no, sorry, carry on.
Now I was gonna say like I had to do like a quick little double take because I was like super surprised by it. It's like you see like art like that sometimes on Twitter and such, and like you don't believe it until you have to like zoom in. And I mean, it's
Yeah.
incredible.
Hmm. I actually got quite a lot of hate for that one. I
Really?
had a, I had a lot of people coming to me and being like, "You trace this," and I'm like, "I don't think you're kind of getting the idea of photorealism artwork here."
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, using that college education on them with the
Yeah.
photorealism.
uh,
I mean, I did emphasize in the beginning you were an animation graduate, so I mean it certainly helps out.
yeah.
What if I may ask, why was the emphasis on animation, but yet you stick with thumbnails and like still art?
Um, when I was going into uni,
Okay.
it was either between taking a digital art course or animation. At the time, I was really into animation,
Okay.
and I kind of want to use the degree as like a fallback career if, like, obviously, like YouTube and that kind of just like dies down.
Okay.
So then I can always pick back animation up and kind of go into there if I ever felt like I needed to. But for now, I like sticking with what I've got because I know how everything works. I'm comfortable where I am. Obviously, reaching out a little bit into other, but for now, I think I like where I am. So.
Well, absolutely. And speaking of yourself, as I said in the beginning, you've branded yourself as SenpaiBeth, but initially you were Boochkin Boo. Am I pronouncing that right?
God, yeah.
What was the inspiration behind that name, and what led you to change it to your current name?
I had that old username, Boochkin Boo, for years. I had that since I first started out doing artwork.
Okay.
I remember how I got it. I held a competition on like some art website, like, oh, choosing a new username. Best one gets like a little drawing. So someone chose it for me. I didn't even pick it.
Oh wow! And
Yeah,
you just kind of stuck with it since.
Yeah, but then when I got like a little bit more popular and I got more following, a lot of people couldn't pronounce my name properly. I got called Boo Chicken Boo, and like I don't even know what else. So I just thought, you know what, I'm gonna stick to a more recognizable name, something that like fits me, fits my brand. Obviously has my name in it.
Right.
So chose SenpaiBeth.
I mean, it's certainly a more recognizable name, although I'm telling you right now, Boochkin Boo really grabs people's attention because they're going to spend at least half an hour trying to figure out how to pronounce just right.
Yeah, you're not wrong in that one. Never thought about it that way.
But I mean, I think the rebranding, I mean, it still works either way. So, I mean, and it's your brand. It's ultimately up to you how you want to present yourself.
Yeah.
Speaking of presenting yourself, like I said earlier, you do a lot of stuff on Twitch. Like you've shown some of your artwork and working on there, as well as gaming as well. How hard is it to be a Twitch affiliate, and how hard is it to keep up with streaming and stuff at times?
Ooh, for me, it's a lot harder because obviously I'm working like 24/7. I don't have like a 9 to 5 job because some of my clients are like Australian, American, so I've got to be up for like those times to discuss artwork with people. And I've always got like small commissions on the side, which don't allow me to stream because they're like private commissions and obviously they don't want it shown.
Right.
So it's very hard to stream because it's also really draining because you've got to be like upbeat, you've got to like chat to people, then you've also got to do your artwork. So for me, it's a lot easier to concentrate on the work when I'm not streaming. But if I do have like Twitch remote commissions, I do them live just because they're a lot easier for me to do live because people can just give feedback. So obviously it's a very personal like thing for their channel. But yeah, I do love streaming. It's just very hard for me to put it in my schedule.
What are some of the top things you prefer to stream, whether it be just straight up art or games as well?
Oh, I love streaming Siege, like Rainbow Six Siege. Okay. I could only really stream that recently because I got a new PC.
There we go.
But I do love streaming artwork because it's chill when I stream artwork. A lot of people just come in, they relax, we have a nice time, we vibe. So I also love doing that, but either one.
Speaking of Siege, I'll go into this process now. Recently, I'd say a few months back, you posted a video on your YouTube as well about how you made a black ice FAMAS skin, if I'm not mistaken.
I did.
How did that idea come to be?
Oh, my brother really loves airsoft. He goes like every single weekend and he loves it. And it was kind of his suggestion to make that. Because he had a bunch of spray paints in the garage. He was like, why don't you just like buy a really cheap airsoft gun and try it out? And I was like, yeah, go on then. Bit of a weekend project there. So I did it, and then a lot of people seemed to love it. And I don't know if I can say this, but the voice actor for Mozzie has come to me asking for a custom black ice skin for a gun and a helmet.
Wow, that's impressive.
So it kind of paid off, I would say.
For those that haven't seen the video, what was exactly the process behind making the skin?
Oh, you want like the whole step-by-step process?
I mean, you can, or you could just give like a simple rundown of like the bare minimum, and then people can go watch the video themselves.
Okay. Well, first off, I just sanded it down, then primed it, and then I tried out like this new medium of texture spray paint, which made like the ice ridges per se on it.
Okay.
And obviously put down the color, put down the gloss, and it actually turned out a lot better than I thought it was going to. Because I have never used spray paints before that, and it turned out great apparently.
There we go.
If the voice actor of Mozzie wants one as well.
Yeah, no joke. That must be surreal for you, like the voice actor of like some of a game that you've played several times, turning around and be like, "This is awesome. I need this."
Yeah. From only recently playing the game as well. I think like in the past 2 years I've only played the game.
Okay.
And then obviously like my friends play the game like religiously. They make that like that's their career off Siege. And then for the voice actor to come to me and just be like, "Hey, I like your stuff." It's surreal. It's mad.
Is that like at least top 3 like most surreal moments ever since you've been like thumbnail artist, or is there some that rank higher by chance?
I would say so, yeah. Like that, I would say that's a very top 1 or 2 in the list.
Okay, would number 1 possibly being MrBeast noticing your artwork?
Oh, that's definitely number 1. That's definitely number 1. Those emotions are still fresh.
For those who don't know, what is this MrBeast challenge that you've set yourself up for?
So it kind of started off as like not like a joke, but like an idea. So basically, the concept would be to draw MrBeast in like this cartoonish style every single day until he buys me a house. Like that's the tagline of it. So every day, like do a different pose of him, like sitting on the beach, sitting in a pile of money with his shades on, lying back. And then obviously he's noticed it, and
yes.
he hasn't like given me any more information, but we'll see what happens. I'm excited for it.
I was gonna say, in fact, I've recommended an idea to you. You've actually drew one of my ideas, which I cannot appreciate enough. It looked absolutely gorgeous. Of people doing the classic Pepe Sylvia.
Yes.
Obviously, since he noticed it, how far are you willing to go to make sure that you do indeed get that MrBeast house?
Oh, I'll do anything he wants. Just anything. I will fly out there when lockdown's over. I'll paint him. I will paint him.
Paint him like one of your French women.
Exactly.
I think I just gave you an idea for your next one.
I'll note it down.
There you go. I actually have a few more that I actually want to go through. Yes, I actually have a list of ideas because for those who don't know, he actually responded yesterday at the time of recording this with a poll to where most people, I think they went with the 1,000 days of you doing this,
Yes.
Hopefully. And since, that's probably going to be the go-to goal, I figured you need a few more ideas just to ensure that you have, you don't run out of ideas. The first one is the first one is the first one I recommended in the first place. You gotta get him like covered up in paintballs based on the Battle Royale video that he made like last year or so. Like just like either scattered or just like have his face available, but like everything else is like the rainbow color like you got for your hair. And
that could be good.
The second one, him accepting award, maybe a streamy, maybe something that's just a simple little pose like this.
Yeah.
Something simple.
Give him a minute.
Let's give him a minute.
Yeah.
You can have them with a giant check for charity or for your house, just that comical like giant check.
Yeah.
You can have him bungee jumping, just why not? It could be simple. I don't know if he's actually ever done that, but if nothing else, that's an idea for him to do for his video.
True.
Give him robot arms like the ones from like Doc Ock from Spider-Man to sign all those t-shirts since his shoulder is getting destroyed, which you did predict.
Yes, I did.
Have him like the cover of a romance novel. Make MrBeast Fabio. That's all I'm saying, because who doesn't want to see themselves in that?
Oh,
Who doesn't want to see themselves in that shining, like the glistening and the flowing long hair, and for his case, the
exactly.
flowing long beard. Um, this one's just silly. Have him as the Cabbage Man from Avatar: The Last Airbender. My cabbages or my money.
Oh my god, yes, I am so happy that someone else knows that.
Or heck, even just my trees instead of cabbages.
Yeah.
And speaking of Team Trees, the last one, have him walking with Treelon Musk. Not Elon,
Oh my god,
Treelon Musk.
I love that.
And those are just my list. I'm sure if everyone else have ideas, I'm sure you could, you can either comment down below or contact Beth via Twitter. Let her know your ideas, because if you're gonna be doing this for 1,000 days, aka a little over
I need
3
ideas.
years, you need
Throw
all the
them
ideas you
at
can.
me.
Because you are dedicated and dead set on getting this house.
Oh yeah. It would be such a good video if you makes it into one.
Oh, absolutely. And I also love the idea that you recommended as well. Once you get the house, you want to take all the art, put in a collage, and sell it for charity. Is there a charity that you had in mind, or how would you go about like making that the final end goal?
Oh, see, I think that would have to be a decision closer to the time.
Right.
Maybe just put it into his tree charity or something, because obviously, like the wildfires recently, they've been bad.
Right.
I don't know.
Really have been.
I don't know what might happen in like the next 3 years. God knows, 2020 has already thrown so much out.
No joke.
So we'll just have to see, I guess, at the time what we do.
Absolutely. Is there a house that you had particularly in mind whenever you do get to the 1,000 days? I mean, I know you have time to think about it, but I imagine you had to have like something planned out.
Just somewhere big enough for. It's going to sound like really like middle-aged. I'm not middle-aged, but just somewhere nice to like just settle down, just be there, do my artwork, be nice and chill. Obviously, have a nice enough garden for like my dog.
Right.
Just somewhere nice, I guess.
Make sure there's good internet connection as well, because otherwise it's hard for you to do your job.
If you can possibly, just get Buckingham Palace or something. I'm sure you can make it happen.
I think that might be a little bit above like even his pay grade at this point.
Nah, Honey will sponsor him. He's on it.
Honey will sponsor. So this takeover at Buckingham Palace is sponsored by Honey. Oh, goodness. Well, speaking of, I'll get to this. It wasn't even one of my questions. Speaking of animals, you did say you have a dog. This is kind of a rhetorical question. What is your obsession with animals, especially otters? Like, especially with your profile right now, you have like you have an otter right now. Is there a particular reason why you've just grown attached to it, or just the natural?
Subconsciously, I have always loved them.
Okay.
Like I look back when I was a kid, like when I did drawings, it was just otters.
Okay.
Like every other drawing was an otter. Like I never noticed it until recently, and I was like, well, I'll just include that in my brand.
Yeah.
Plus, they're just really cute. Like if you don't love otters, and just don't talk to me. They are so.
It has gotten to the point where not too long ago you actually adopted an otter. Am I correct?
I did. I did.
And it sadly did not go the way that it planned, if I'm not mistaken.
No, I was discussing this earlier on my stream.
For those who don't know, can you quickly lament the sad story?
Yeah, sure. So I did a 12-hour charity stream in hopes of being able to raise enough to obviously adopt a couple of otters and give the rest, which I make, in donations.
Right.
So at the time, we adopted 2 otters. One of them being one called Peanut.
Okay.
Now, the sanctuary where Peanut lived offered me to come down and like do an experience with them, like an otter experience, which I don't usually offer to the public. So I was like, oh my God, yes, I will come down and do it. So the day comes, we go there, and then the poor lady was just like, oh, yeah, so we're going to go see the otters now. I'm like, oh, yeah, I adopted Peanut. And she was like, did no one tell you? And I'm like, what? And she was just like, Peanut passed away like the day before I got there, and I was trying so hard to hold back the tears.
That's
because I was so
sad.
excited to just see the otter that like the community adopted, and it like passed away the day we got there.
That
It was like ironic but sad and funny.
It's sadly ironic goodness. I mean,
Yeah, it's funny now I look back on it, but it was sad at the time.
I mean, you know, you at least tried. That's the most
Yeah,
you can
we
say.
tried.
You
We
tried.
sponsored it for a day. We
There you
sponsored
go.
it for a day.
That must have been a good one-day sponsor.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, speak of your community that helped out with that. For those who like know who you are, you've developed a nice little like subtle community that's like followed your art escapades and such. What has been the best part about the art community that you're a part of, as well as the YouTube community that's recognizes your work?
Yeah. The art community, which I think maybe I don't run, but like I'm a part of. So like different other YouTube thumbnail artists, we all kind of like band together if we see someone needing thumbnails. We tag each other. We support each other if they need help with something. Like one of my friends is just getting into art again, like through college. So she's come to me through a lot of help. So I'm helping support her, trying to get her commissions and all this.
Okay.
Sorry, what was your other bit?
Just like
Artists and
the YouTube community as well, who recognizes your artwork.
oh yeah. So they help me as well if they need. Like obviously they recommend people as well. And since I started making YouTube videos myself as well, they help like share it. Obviously, like my boss blog sometimes reposts it, gets the views in. So it's wholesome, I guess. That's the only word I can describe it. It's wholesome.
I'm sorry. Like it's wonderful you say that. It's just whenever you said my boss Blarg, my first thought is just my friend Dick. Will you please like this art?
Yeah.
For those,
I should really call him just a client, but
I mean, it's incredible to see just kind of this wholesome like support within like the art community as a whole. That's something that I was able to talk about with last week's guest, Super D, who's a cartoonist. He was talking about just like how he both loved like the support and supporting each other while also like disdaining kind of like the gatekeeping. Do you think there's as much of that with your aspect of the art community?
I wouldn't say so. No, I think some people, yes. I think there is a few people out there who would, obviously be like, "Oh no, this is mine. No, I'm not going to help you make your own way." But like, I wouldn't say that with mine. No, we're all very helpful.
That's good to hear. By the way, for those shameless promotion here, but for those who did not watch, the last week's episode is up on all media or not all, but most streaming platforms, especially Spotify, Anchor FM, and there's also a VOD on YouTube.
Yes. Go listen.
Yes, please go listen. I crave the attention now. What do you hope to be doing or to have done within the next 5 or 10 years? I know it's kind of a general question, but you're working more for growing YouTubers and such. And I mean, at this point, you've gotten the attention of one of the biggest YouTubers with MrBeast. So, what do you hope to be doing or hope to have done within the next 5 to 10 years?
I think in that time scale, I think hopefully not, but I think the YouTubers I work for now will possibly be probably finding other career paths, like doing their own thing, probably not doing YouTube as much, which I hope not, because I really love working for Blarg and like the YouTube community.
Right.
But I would love to kind of start doing stuff for myself, like do paintings more, possibly make an animation or two.
Oh, okay.
Maybe like get a pilot started for that, get the funding in. I don't know, just kind of work for myself a bit more, put the income that I get, like it's not received just because I did a commission for someone. It's through like a canvas that I sold to someone. So it's my idea, my concept, and then it's my artwork that's going to be hung on the wall, kind of thing.
There we go. I mean,
Yeah.
trust me, I have a lot of space. I'm definitely gonna have the Lil Nas X one up here as well. But I mean, no, that's absolutely incredible, and I really do hope that you get to that point as well, because I don't know if I've said this before, but I mean, your artwork really is like amazing and it's eye catching. I mean, you have, like I said, the realistic stuff to where I just look at it and I'm absolutely blown away. But even like the thumbnails and even the MrBeast stuff, just kind of the details that you put in some of the little things with the semi-realism, and just how you basically bring to life this scene that would probably be very hard to recreate otherwise as well.
Yeah.
It's absolutely amazing, and it's part of a reason why I honestly I love Blarg and his content like above all, but like I still like love seeing like the thumbnails as well, because it does grab the attention and it really is amazing, especially with like his schedule, how you're able to keep up with such consistent artwork as well. It's absolutely incredible.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much.
No problem. Trust me, no problem at all. I do want to ask one last question.
Yeah, sure.
Obviously, as an artist, especially for thumbnails, it's very important for you to, keep up with art. But how important for you is art as a whole?
At the moment, it's my life. It's what's keeping me going. Like, it's the reason that I'm getting up. I'm like getting busy. Honestly, if I didn't have artwork, I truly would not know what I would be doing right now, because I don't think I would like be doing well in like an academic sort of sense. Like, I admire people that go to like a 9 to 5 job in an office, because I wouldn't be able to do that. But then I know that some people be like, oh my god, I wouldn't be able to draw. I can't draw a stick man, that kind of thing. So I guess like the roles are kind of reversed. But yeah, artwork it's
It's your
my
drive.
life.
It's your drive.
Yes, exactly.
Well, that's wonderful to hear. And I want to start by saying thank you so much for taking time out of your very, 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 very busy schedule to sit down and chat with me for a little bit. I really do appreciate it.
So thank you so much for having me.
No problem. And also, if you do ever get to the point to where you decide to make that animated thing, if you need a voice actor, I mean, I have a microphone and I'm more than willing to help out. If you need,
I will have your details noted down. Don't worry.
If you need a weird American voice for whatever you're trying to do, I am more than happy to help out.
All right, I'll keep you in mind. Don't worry.
Go ahead and plug yourself for the people at home.
I'm SenpaiBeth on most social medias. Apart from Instagram, it's SenpaiBeth with 2 eyes. Okay. But that's me.
All right. For those who, and also you have a store as well for people that want some wonderful artwork and merchandise. Where would they find that stuff?
You can find the link for that on my Twitter page. It's on my pinned tweet. Can't miss it. It says store, big writing. Okay. So yeah.
And also, I'll be sure to have most of your links in the description as well for both the audio and video form. Make sure that people find you.
Go check them out.
Yes. Before we go, is there anything else that you want to just bring up and bring attention to on your behalf?
I will say one advice comment. If people are thinking of doing artwork as a job, I highly recommend it. If you want to do it as an education, if you want to follow it through education, do it. Don't let the norm of like, oh, I've got to find like a retail job, like push you aside from like reaching like your artistic dreams. I beg of you to do it, no matter what your skill, your talent, like how well you know artwork. If you want to do it, do it. Even if it's just a hobby on the side. It's so creative. Artists are like so welcoming to the community. Like, come in, I will help support you. If you want to do it, at me, I will retweet your work. Like, I love seeing other people's artwork. So that's my advice for you. If you want to do it, do it. Don't be shy.
I cannot think of better advice to end on. This has been the Postmodern Art Podcast. Thank you all for listening. Feel free to keep track of us on most streaming platforms with more to come. Go subscribe to our YouTube channel as well, Postmodern Art Podcast, and follow us on Twitter for future updates at PostmodArtPod. SenpaiBeth, thank you so much for taking time out of your day. I really cannot thank you enough. It's been wonderful. It's been wonderful to chat with you as well, and I really do wish the best for you.
Awesome. Thank you. You too.
And good luck with that house, because I imagine it is going to be amazing.
Thank you.
And to everyone at home, hasta luego, mi amigos.